desert heat. Old badges traded for a YouTube beat. Steve behind the lens with a steady hand, telling stories of the law across the land. Lights and sirens fade, but the stories remain. Lessons from the street in a digital domain. LVCopsTV, shining bright and true. Bryon, Gonzo, and Steve bringing it to you. Chasing shadows in the Vegas night. Now they teach the world wrong from right. Old scars still ache, but the mission's clear. Through the lens they fight to persevere. Lights and sirens fade, but the stories remain. Lessons from the street in a digital domain. LVCopsTV, shining bright and true. Bryon, Gonzo, and Steve bringing it to you.
Ooh. What's up? There it is. There it is.
Do we even need to do anything now after that? Can we just say
Good
thanks for joining us and goodbye?
That's so cool, man. Steve really knocked that out of the park with that one, huh? That's
He
really
did.
cool.
He did. Man, I'm telling you, that was awesome. I don't
It's
know,
the only
man.
time, G, I think we'll ever hear anybody singing about us, buddy.
I know. I know.
Let's
that's
be
true.
real. No, ain't
Yeah.
nobody writing songs about us. Ain't nobody
No.
singing about us. But it's okay.
Ain't.
Steve did. And that
Yep.
was good.
That'll be there
great.
forever. It'll be on the YouTubes forever, dude.
Mm-hmm. Welcome, everybody.
So, welcome. Holy macaroni. Man. It's been a minute.
I almost just said Wednesday night. Monday night. I'm
Yeah.
confused. Monday night. Welcome Monday night to our
ride-alongs, road dogs.
Yep.
All the members, all the new ones that are going to be joining us tonight.
Yep.
So
our impromptu live, which we decided to do a live just a little while ago because that's how we do it.
So I don't know how to say this. My brother told me so we're of course Hispanic, right? Mexicans, right? Gonzalez.
Yep.
So he asked me if I had noticed how come immigrants are coming over the border 2 at a time, right?
Right.
And I go, that's pretty easy. The sign says no trespass.
I should have known you were going there, G. I should have known.
No trespass. Hey, listen, I apologize if I offend somebody, but I mean, I'm Hispanic. I can say that kind of stuff.
Yeah. And we offend people here sometimes. You have to, in order to communicate, you have to open your mouth. And in order to open your mouth, you might offend somebody. It's a risk we all take communicating every day.
You have to have an open mind too, right?
Yeah. Well, we joke around a lot. And I think our ride-alongs know we joke around a lot.
Yeah, exactly. So
anyway,
listen, exactly. Last week, that one, what was it? Dr. Kessler, what was his name?
Welcher.
Yeah. Well, watching him made me want to welch, dude. I'm telling you what. I don't think he said anything that was honest besides his name.
No. Well, like you said, what did we learn from him?
Nothing. That he's a liar.
Well, he's a liar. And in 1,700 years, he still hasn't gotten a stupid degree. I would have gotten that at least in 10.
Exactly.
Maybe 8. It depends if I'm feeling it.
Hey, you know what? It'd be 2 dog years for me, all right?
Yeah. But did you see how flushed his face got?
Oh, yeah.
His cheeks, he looked like he had 2 T-bone steaks on the side of his face, people.
Yeah.
Did you see it?
Yeah.
It was just like filling it. He was like, oh, I'm so fucked.
Yeah. And hopefully the jury can see, put 2 things together. Why would you want to have to change your whole presentation?
You shouldn't.
The second go around, right? It should stand alone, right?
Yeah.
When we do a report, it stands alone. You can't make any amendments to it.
No, you can't change it. It is what it is. That's what happened then. So no matter what time or how many years go by, when you go back, you can read it and say, yeah, that's exactly what happened.
Yep. the evidence that I had in front of me at the time, given to me at that moment in time. Okay, I get that, right? But he's saying new technologies have come out, new procedures have come out, so I'm implementing that. Well,
in 8 months, a year, really? Considering he couldn't even update his LinkedIn.
Yeah. Poor
Does
guy.
anybody
He's
use
gonna get
LinkedIn
got.
anymore?
I think so.
I don't never had a LinkedIn account. I don't even know what it is, but anyway. All right. How many
Set it up,
people we
B.
got? You guys ready? We're gonna do Officer Dever tonight. Dever. She's a real zesty, testy thing. She is. Gee, you're gonna like her.
I didn't get a chance to watch this, so
No, it's
this is
okay.
gonna be a true reaction on
Yes,
this.
it's gonna be
This
good for
topic.
Gonzo to see.
How long has he been on a force?
She's been on 2
Oh,
years,
it's a
2.5
she.
years.
It's a she.
female.
Okay.
It's a female. Correct.
All
Yeah,
right.
it's a female. Young female.
All right.
So, are you guys ready? Yeah, I got to smash the duck ball.
You know
should have
what?
seen me.
Hold on. Let me grab
Just-
my sheet.
Yeah, you should have seen me earlier today at work. Some things happened, and I was aggravated, and I had my hand crusher thing, and I was like, I got to take my anger out.
Yeah, get my sheep.
There you go. We got to make LV Cops stress balls.
Yeah. Let's roll it. Let's go, man.
Let's roll it. You on there, Steve? We're gonna conjure Steve. Oh, he already rolled. There we go. He's listening. Steve's always listening.
During the case down here, it's the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do. Good morning.
First diss.
Morning. Morning, ma'am.
May I inquire?
Yes.
Bev didn't like
Good
that.
morning. Could you state your name and spell your last name for the jurors, please?
Kelly Dever, last name D.
Hey, pause it real quick, Steve.
E-R.
Damn, G's hitting it early.
Well, this question I want to answer here.
Okay.
Okay. So there are some good female officers out there. Okay. There really is.
Yeah.
Now, the problem that I've had, and Bryon, you have too as well, is sometimes female officers tend to escalate the situation more than what it is. Right. And it's not, I don't know if it's because you have me and Bryon backing you up and you start getting a little bit braver and saying things that you shouldn't say. Right. So we might have the situation calm down and this little spicy hot potato comes in and starts, putting in her two bits in, and it kind of spikes things up. So there's no need for that really, because you don't need to prove that you can do the job. You passed the academy, you passed field training. Now you're with your squad, you're in a spot, right? But sometimes those things get jacked up. Female officers tend to jack things up. Not all of them, but some. Right?
Yep.
So
no. Yeah, and I used to tell the female officers, it's okay to act feminine. It's okay. A lot of females want to act more manly or think they have to act more manly, but you don't. You can be feminine. It's okay. You're a female. You can be a girl and be a cop. It's 100% okay. But like what G was talking about, we've had officers that have come up and done that and we have everything calm. Now a big fight starts just because of that female. So I totally get what he's saying. Sorry, allergies.
Oh, okay. He's back.
Is he back? Yeah, G's been dropping off his, I guess his internet's acting up. It is windy and yucky here today.
I don't know. You know what? I just changed my phone to do not disturb and see if that works. I don't know, man.
Yeah. See, I was just telling them about the females, how we've had people start stuff, but it's okay for them to act like that, be feminine. It's okay to be a girl and be a cop. It's okay. You don't have to act like a dude.
Yeah.
And what do you do for a living?
I'm a police officer.
Where are you employed?
Boston Police.
How long have you been so employed with the Boston Police Department?
2 years and a little over 2 months.
She's green.
What before that?
Green.
I worked for the Canton Police.
Were you a sworn officer at that time?
At what time? When I was employed there?
When you were employed by the Canton Police
Yeah, girl.
Department?
Yes, I was.
As a sworn police officer?
Yes.
Okay. What was your duty assignment in January of 2022?
I was a patrol officer.
You familiar with the case that's presently before the bench?
How is she? That's 3 years ago.
In some capacity, yes.
Commonwealth versus Karen Reed.
Yes.
All right. Did you ever prepare any kind of report based on any of your conduct or your connection with this case, if there was any connection with this case, while you were a Canton police officer?
No.
Were you ever interviewed?
That's a lie.
Any member of the Canton Police Department in furtherance of their investigation related to the death of John O'Keefe?
No.
Were you ever interviewed by the Massachusetts State Police?
No.
Let me finish the question. I got to finish the question, then you can answer. It works a little better that way.
There you go.
Were you interviewed by any member of the Massachusetts State Police in furtherance of their investigation into the death of John O'Keefe?
No.
Were you ever interviewed by either the Canton Police Department or the Massachusetts State Police with regard to any of your observations on January 28th or January 29th, 2022?
No.
And you never wrote a report about your observations or any observations that you had on January 28th or January 29th, 2022, correct?
No.
That was a double negative. Let me try that a different way. Did you ever write a report about your observations related to January 28th, 2022, January 29th, 2022?
No.
Thank you. As a matter of fact, the first time you were ever interviewed in connection with anything having to do with this case or this investigation related to the death of John O'Keefe was by a separate law enforcement agency, not the Massachusetts State Police, not the Canton Police Department, correct?
Yes.
That was in August of 2023, is that right?
Yes.
Do you remember the exact date?
No.
August 9th, 2023, does that sound right, about right?
I know it was the summer of 2023.
Okay.
So
Do you think it would refresh your recollection to take a look at a report of that interview?
yes, because I've never seen it before.
What the?
Date is concerned, may I approach?
Yes.
Thank you. Take a look at the bottom of that page. Just glance at that and tell me once you familiarize yourself with that face page of that report. Okay. May I approach?
Yes.
Do you have that date in mind?
Yes.
Does that refresh your recollection that it was August 9th, 2023?
Yes.
Okay. I want to direct your attention, Officer Dever, to January 28th, 2022. Where were you working? What was your duty assignment on that day, January 28th, moving into January 29th?
Well, 3.5 years later, I remember I was on patrol. I don't remember anything further about this night.
Did you work overnight, like a late shift going into the morning of January 29th?
That was my assigned shift, so yes.
Okay. Who else was working with you on that particular day, if you recall?
Sergeant Good, Officer Mullaney, Officer Seraph, and Officer Pasquarelli.
4 cops. And she's in
What
dispatch.
generally was your assignment when you went into work that
Oh,
night
shit.
on January 28th?
Patrol.
You've only ever done patrol, girl.
At
2.5
some
years.
point, either that evening in the early morning hours of January 29th, did you note that a call came in related to a person found in the snow, unresponsive in the snow?
Yes.
Tell me
Pause
about
it for a
that.
sec, Steve.
The nature of the call and where were you?
I was in my cruiser. A call came in.
So listen, we're a big city, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the big call comes in, not a big call, just a, pedestrian auto pet accident, or even maybe even a homicide, right?
Yep. Yep.
Everybody hears it.
Yep.
And what do they do, man? They enter the last 4 of the event number on the computer and get the details.
Yeah. Everybody's reading them details. They want to see what it was, how bad it was, how messy it's going to get.
Yeah. So when you're out there and a call comes in like that, and there's only 5 cops out there, and that's a big call, man.
Everybody's going. Come on, people.
Everybody's
Come on,
going,
ride
and
alongs.
everybody's reading the details.
Everybody
And
wants to go. Everybody wants to see.
what else do? We call the officers line to dispatch. Hey, what's going on over there? From a different area command, right?
Yeah. It does
Right?
happen, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So everybody in our valley would have known details of this call.
Yep.
100%.
And that's why it would be impossible to, whatever they did, it would be damn near impossible to do here. I think it would be impossible to do here. It's too many people, too many cops. You can't, just 200 people showing up. No, ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, when they say I don't have much information, that's a freaking lie, because we know
Yeah.
everything that's happening, even
Yeah.
if it's a call not even in our area command.
Yeah.
We'll read the details.
Let's roll it, Steve.
That said, person in a snowbank, something along those lines.
Person in a
Immediately
snowbank.
Followed by that transmission, my sergeant requested that I come to take over dispatch.
Is that Sergeant Good?
Yes.
Okay. Did you, in fact, respond back to Canton PD to take over dispatch?
Yes, so I was already in the parking lot of the Canton Police while this took place, so I was already at the station.
Did
Makes
you know
sense.
whether or not Sergeant Good and or any of the others responded to the location while you stayed back to handle dispatch at the police department?
Yes, that's why I went inside, so he could respond.
Were you aware that Sergeant Good, did you have any knowledge at that time that Sergeant Good was familiar with or knew who Bryon Albert was?
Objection.
Sustained.
Of
Did
course.
you know who Bryon Albert was at
No.
that time?
No.
Do you now? At least
Because of
familiar
this
with the name?
case, yes.
I spoke over you, I'm so sorry. Based on this case, are you familiar with the name?
The name, yes.
Did you know Kevin Albert?
No. Oh, the detective Kevin Albert. Yes, I did.
Correct. How did you know Kevin Albert?
He was a detective for the Canton Police.
Were you aware of his relationship to Bryon Albert at that time?
No.
Are you now aware of his relationship with Bryon Albert?
Yes, from the media.
And what is that relationship as you know it?
Sustained.
Did you know Brian Higgins at that time?
Yes, in passing.
I'm not asking if you're social friends, asking if you knew who he was.
Yes.
How'd you know who Brian Higgins was?
He had an office in the Canton Police.
Is he a sworn police officer?
Not for us.
Is he a sworn federal agent?
Yes.
Worked for ATF?
Yes.
Okay. How long have you known and been familiar with Brian Higgins? Say, for instance, by sight, to be able to recognize who he was.
Sometime during 2020 is when I was probably first familiarized with him, because that's when I was employed with the Canton Police Department first.
Pass him in the hallways, hi, bye, things like that.
Yes.
Sustained is to form, Mr. Jackson.
Understood. Did you know him by sight?
Yes.
Could you recognize him if you saw him?
2.5 years later, no, but at the time, yes.
That's not what he
I'm
asked.
asking you about right now. I'm
Yeah.
asking you back in January 2022. Could you
Thank
recognize
you.
him by sight?
Yes.
Yes.
Did you know who Kenneth Berkowitz was?
Yes.
Who is Kenneth Berkowitz?
He was the chief of the Canton Police.
Obviously very familiar with him. He was your boss, correct?
Yes.
When Sergeant Good instructed you to take over dispatch, explain what that meant.
It meant I walked inside and I sat down in a dispatch room.
Describe the dispatch room. What did that array look like?
Dude, I like how Jackson's doing this.
Monitors?
Yes.
Does the dispatch area also have monitors of internal security camera footage?
Yeah,
I know there was
they do.
camera screens.
Of course there
I
is.
don't know if they were on TVs or computers or where in dispatch they were. I don't recollect where they were or how they would be accessed. They were in the room somewhere. I can't be more specific. I don't remember.
But you do
Okay.
recall seeing that there were monitors that were showing different views of internal security camera footage of Canton PD, correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
The specifics, no. Were there? Yes.
I don't know what you mean by specifics. I'm asking you, were there monitors that you could look at that showed security camera footage from inside Canton PD, different areas, hallways, corridors, offices, the Sally port, for instance?
So 2.5 years since
You
I've...
keep saying 2.5 years later.
So let her finish her answer and then ask a question.
Sure.
It's been years since I've been in that room. They were somewhere in the room. Where cameras were in the Canton Police Department, I don't recall. The media's provided me information since this case took place, and I can't speak on what's my recollection and what's been media provided. There are cameras. I don't know where on my memory where they are.
So has the media informed you that there were internal security monitors at the dispatch location?
So the objection is sustained. Next question.
What do you recall from the dispatch room, as you put it? What do you recall being there in terms of monitors?
I remember there was a computer screen that had information
Oh
about
my
current
gosh.
calls, and then there was a 911 screen next to that. Those are the two
Okay.
computers that I would
Let's pause it for a
positioned in
sec.
front of during this time.
Is this your first day at dispatch? I mean, come on. She was there for a long time, man. There's probably a couple of screens. We all know the cameras feed into the computers.
Yeah.
She's playing games, right on. She's playing games. You see, she didn't want to admit it. Did you see the way she was so hesitant? Right, G? She was like, well, I kind of remember, but I kind of don't.
Let me tell you, I've been in dispatch a handful of times, and those dispatchers will tell you exactly what cameras do what.
Yeah, they are
Right?
on the ball. They're like the Neo in the Matrix, man. Dispatchers got like 8 screens, 10 screens. They got foot pedals. Dispatchers, man, they're amazing. They're amazing.
And these and as a cop, we know where the cameras are when we're walking to it because they'll see us come to the front door and wait to get buzzed in. Get buzzed in. You have to walk down a hallway to get into the dispatch room. They have cameras there to see you when you're at that doorway to let you in.
Yeah.
So
That ain't rocket science.
It's a big screen with picture in picture with like 15 cameras that's just designed for interior, exterior camera footage.
Yeah. Very simple. So she's
I'm not a dispatcher and I know that.
Yeah. I mean, come on. So and they're in Canton. I mean, come on, they got like 2-3 screens.
She's a spicy little tamale, man. I'll tell you what.
I mean, you got 4 cops.
But I think she's been scripted pretty good though. It just by me watching her.
Yeah, keep watching her.
Let's roll.
Definitely doesn't look happy. She looks like she's 15.
I know, right?
Yeah, 15, 16 tops.
All these new cops
As a
look
dispatch
baby.
officer, by the way, you were a sworn officer at that time, correct?
Thank you. Thank you.
Uniform, badge, gun, the whole works, right?
Yes.
Had you ever been in the Sally Port at Canton PD?
Yes.
What's the Sally Port?
A Sally Port is a garage, essentially.
Okay. You were aware that the Sally Port garage had a camera, a security camera?
They all do.
It would make sense because that's where we bring prisoners to drop them off.
Well, more than just make sense, I'm asking you, do you recall that it had cameras that serviced the Sally Port garage?
Answer the question, man.
Security cameras.
Come on, girl.
It's where we brought prisoners, so there would be cameras, yes.
Okay, you're saying there would be cameras. I'm asking
Yes.
you, were there cameras?
Are there cameras?
According to the media, yes. I've seen the footage, so yes, there were cameras.
All right.
Does she not know anything?
So I'm going to.
Gets
select
worse.
the officer, you have to answer the question based on your own independent. And if you don't.
Ooh.
Tell us, but you
She even gave us a big old sigh there, huh?
reference what you know from the media.
All right.
Okay. Okay.
There were cameras in the Sally Port.
Thank you. That's all. Yeah. It's so hard to say that.
Ms. Dever, do you want to be here today?
I have no relation to this case,
I
so
didn't ask you that. I asked you if you want to be here today.
Objection, this isn't direct.
Wrong answer.
It's your witness.
I understand.
She can, no comments, just questions, not, I understand that.
Do you want to be here today now?
I am put on the stand in a murder trial. I don't know why I'm here. I have no connection to this case.
You have no idea why you're here?
You've never talked to me. Nobody on the fence seems to talk to me since prior to the first trial. So I don't have any idea why I'm here.
No clue whatsoever, as you sit here, why you might have been called to the stand.
No.
Are you uncomfortable testifying?
No, it's part of my job.
You're a professional police officer, correct?
Correct.
That means you're a professional witness to a certain degree, correct?
In the crimes that I've gone on the stand before, yes, I have been.
And you understand the oath?
Yes, I do.
Anytime you're on the
What is
stand.
that oath?
The oath is to tell the truth.
Anytime.
And nothing but the truth, correct?
Objection.
So help you God.
I'll rephrase it. Is there more to that oath when you raise your right hand? That's witness.
I'm objecting.
So I'm gonna see it side by for just.
Objecting to what, dude?
He knows where Jackson's going.
Thank you, Your Honor. May I inquire?
Yes.
Thank you.
He's trying to put the screws to her, man, trying to make her break, and he will.
Yeah. Yeah, it gets worse.
One of the cameras, one of the monitors that you had access to back on January 29th did show the footage from, or did it show the footage from that, one of the other Sallyport garage cameras?
Can you rephrase the question?
Sure, it was a little bit clunky on my part. Did one of the monitors that you looked at, that you had access to at the dispatch area, did it show the video footage or the video feed from the Sallyport garage?
So I already said I don't remember where in dispatch the screen with the cameras was. There was a camera in the Sallyport.
Of course there was.
So if I'm going to make the assumption, then yes, of course. But now that's an assumption.
I'm
So?
not asking you for an assumption.
Yep.
I'm asking you, did
Was there a
one of the
camera?
feeds- Now, we're talking about the camera. The other side of the camera is the feed.
Yeah.
Do you recall whether or not there was footage that you could see on a monitor in the dispatch area that showed the Sallyport?
I'm
Look.
going
Look.
to go with yes.
Okay.
Pause that, Steve.
How long?
So, I don't know.
I can't.
Did
I
it
don't know
look-
if I'm gonna make it, dude. I don't know if I'm gonna make it, bro.
Did it look
I'm
like he
telling
was? To me, ride-alongs. To me, at that part, it kind of looked like she knows what she wants to say. I think she knows what she's told to say, and I think right there for about 10 seconds she was debating. What you saw right there was her, like, literally career flashing before her eyes. Good, bad. What is she gonna say? And to me, that's what it looked like. She was kind of contemplating, like, you know.
Dude,
I
I'm
could be
telling
wrong.
you, I'm telling you, there on that computer screen there is a feed that shows the Sallyport.
Of
Right?
course there is.
Because if that's where you bring prisoners in and they start fighting,
Yeah.
all the dispatchers should know to hit that button.
Yep.
And everybody knows what that
Please.
sound is to get your ass out there
Yeah.
and start handling business.
Of course there's cameras in the Sallyports. Fucking duh. Why she even is debating this? It's of course there is. There always is. There always will be.
Yeah.
So, all right, Steve, roll it. Yeah. That's why she's debating all this. She saw something, and we're going to hear about it in a little bit.
That's
And
why
then
she got
recants
called.
it. Huh?
And that's why she got called to the stand.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
What that means. So what do you mean you're going to go with yes? Is your answer yes?
Look at her.
She's struggling, bro.
She's debating. She is debating internally right now. Look at her. Look. Look.
She knows what she did.
She's like, fuck. What do I say?
Yes.
Thank you.
20 seconds for a yes.
What time about did you take over the dispatch desk that morning?
Immediately following when the 911 call came in.
Makes sense.
Would have been 6-ish in the morning. Does that sound about right?
Yeah.
Oh,
Sometime I would say towards the later of my shift, but it was the middle of winter and dark out, so I don't know if it was 4, 5, 6.
Whatever.
Understood. But it was still dark out.
Yeah.
Yes.
Once you took over the dispatch desk, did you stay there even past your normal shift ending to support the investigation that was ongoing?
Not to support the investigation. I was just on overtime.
Okay. So you stayed past your normal end time of your shift that day.
Yes, on overtime.
You stayed into the afternoon, correct?
I believe the shift ended at 3:45 p.m. for the Canton Police.
But you stayed past your ending shift time, correct?
Objection.
I'm sorry, I'll rephrase it. Did you stay past your ending shift time?
For my regular shift, yes, because I was on overtime on the day shift.
So you didn't care about the
Did
cop.
you observe anything unusual that stood out in your mind that occurred, pardon me, in the Sally Port while you were on that shift?
So we've discussed this previously. I can't make that
Who's we?
statement on the stand because I've been provided information released by the defense that it was not a memory, that it was a distorted memory. Therefore, I can't state it because at this point it would be a lie. I cannot make that statement that you're wanting me to make on the stand because I've advised that that would be a lie.
It's distorted.
I've never asked you to make a statement one way or the other on the stand. I'm asking you an open-ended question.
Okay,
Did
so
you,
prior to
let
the
me ask you a
first,
question. Did you observe something in the Sallyport garage on January 29th, 2022 that you found unusual, that stuck out in your mind?
given factual information that makes it so I know I did not, no.
So the answer is no.
Correct.
Do you remember being interviewed on August 9th, 2023?
I do.
That was by a separate law enforcement agency, correct?
Yes.
2 separate law enforcement agents, is that right?
Yes.
And you were advised during the course of that interview on August 29th of something, correct?
Can you rephrase
I'm sorry,
that?
August 9th.
So what was I advised of? Can you rephrase that?
Sure. Were you advised that lying to those officers would be a crime?
So it was a willing conversation. I've spoken with their legal team. Because of the fact I was providing factual information that showed a statement of mine was a false memory, it was not a lie. Therefore, I made it in good faith, and I retracted given information that it could not be accurate.
Ms. Dever, did you
Wow.
understand my question?
Yes, I did. You threatened to charge me with perjury during our phone call prior to the first trial if I didn't lie on the stand right now.
Wow.
I'm telling you, I did not see anything. Factually, I've been provided evidence by a timeline that it is not correct.
Ms. Dever, my question was this. Were you advised that it was a crime to lie to those law enforcement agents? Yes or no?
No.
They never told you, they never admonished you that it would be a crime to lie to them?
Objection.
Sustained. As to form, Mr. Jackson.
She's a cop.
Did they advise you of anything? Any consequences of lying to them?
So we had a willing
Maybe.
conversation.
Yes or no?
I don't recall.
So, okay, there's your answer.
You don't recall if they advised you of anything?
They did.
No, because it wasn't.
As a trained law enforcement agent,
Go ahead and ask a question.
They
but
should've.
Both of you, only one at a time, okay?
as a trained law enforcement officer, are you aware that it's a crime to lie to certain other law enforcement agents?
When you have intent
Yes.
to lie, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
So you knew that when you spoke to these law enforcement officers, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Did you tell these law enforcement officers that you, in fact, saw Brian Higgins and Chief Berkowitz go into the Sallyport with the
Objection.
SUV? May I finish my question?
Yeah.
You can finish this.
Smart, dude.
Go ahead.
Did you tell those law enforcement agents on August 9th, 2023, that you saw Brian Higgins and Chief Berkowitz go into the Sallyport together and alone with the SUV for a wildly long time?
That was my recollection at the time.
So you did say that?
At the time, that is what I recollected.
Okay.
False
Bet-
recollection?
Brandon's still trying to set Bev up to say sustained.
No, hold on. Let me pause it for a second. So we got a butt recollection, like a butt
Yeah.
dial.
Yeah.
So I had a false recollection. How do you have a? Help me out.
You
with
don't.
That, G.
You
Help
don't.
me
You
out
don't
with
have
it.
a false recollection. You know what you saw.
So she had a conversation, right? And she made all these statements, which we're going to hear even more. And then all of a sudden now she's saying, "Oh, it was all a false memory."
How can it be a false memory, Brian?
Beats me. man.
When you listen, man, I'm telling you, you remember stuff, man. You remember stuff.
Yeah.
and you regurgitate it because you want to tell somebody.
Yeah. Yep.
Right. Especially when they ask you a question. What do you see? Well, I saw Brian Higgins come in with the chief. You know, they went to the Sally Port and hung out.
Not a big deal. Yeah. Not a
That's
big
not
deal.
a lie. That's not a false memory.
Right. And that's not a big deal either. Because if you don't know, hey, I saw those two walking across the thing together. Yeah. How long were they out there? Maybe 10 minutes. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, now 2 years later, we know it's a murder case. Do you think that could have been nefarious? Yeah. I mean, she should tell the truth. Yeah. I saw them out there. Yeah. They could have been doing dumb shit, sir. You know, tell the truth. But see how she's backpedaling and she's like a snake, man. She's going back and forth.
She's trying to smart her way out of it, but she can't outsmart Jackson.
No, it's only going to get worse, G. All right, roll it, Steve.
Good. I hope she gets. I mean, you can look at her face. You know she's already lost.
Yeah.
Did you indicate that you noted I may have just a moment, Your Honor.
Sure.
You may have a moment, Jackson.
Thank you, Mr. Jackson.
I need a moment, G.
Yes, sir. Go ahead, Mr. B.
Thank you.
You and I spoke.
Thank you.
Along with Mr. Unetti and Ms. Little on a conference call last year sometime. You remember that?
Yes.
I would have said that was a
Between
false
the
memory.
time that you were interviewed on August 9th, 2023, and when we spoke sometime in maybe it was April or so of last year, does that sound about right?
Yes.
Did you have any conversation with any other party about your potential involvement in this case?
No.
Did you have a conversation with anybody in the commissioner's office at Boston Police Department?
Not about anything malicious.
I didn't use the word malicious. Why did you say malicious?
Yeah, you did.
I had a conversation, but
A malicious one?
it was my department saying, regardless of what I need to say on the stand, they support me.
Right.
You went to the commissioner's office, correct?
Yes.
How long had you been on the Boston Police Department at the time that you were invited to go up to the Commissioner Michael Cox's office?
It had to have been before the first trial, so. And I know it was when the agency released information to outside people.
That's not my question.
Okay, so I don't recall.
Okay. You don't recall how long you had been on the force, generally, at the time that you were called up to the Commissioner's office, on the Boston Police Department?
No.
Was it 5 years, 2 years, 2 months? Give me a ballpark.
You've been on 2 years,
So I've
girl.
been on the department for 2 years and 2 months.
Yeah,
I would say somewhere in the range of a year.
Yeah, do the fucking math, man.
Did you
Answer the
find it
question.
unusual would you call yourself a rookie back then?
Yeah, still
Yes.
are.
Did you find it unusual that a rookie police officer would be called up to the commissioner's office personally to discuss a matter?
It was a reflection of how good of a leader he is. It was not anything that I found unusual, given the fact he is someone who wanted to show support for his officer.
So all of your, I'm guessing all of your training class or all of your entry classes at Boston PD, they've all gone up to the commissioner's office as well?
I don't know anyone else who's been in this particular circumstance.
You don't know, do you know anybody else who's been called up to the?
It's a casting couch or what?
You got no shit, right?
Objection.
System.
Sorry for that.
Do you know any of your colleagues with your level of experience that have been called up to the commissioner's office for a specific instance?
Objection.
That's system.
Now, when you went up to the commissioner's office, did you respond to his indication he wanted to see you up in his office?
It wasn't a direct line of contact from him.
Okay. Did you respond? Did you ultimately go? That's what I mean by respond. Did you go to his office?
He's my boss, so yes.
Okay. And who else was in that office?
Me and
And?
him,
Mm-hmm.
the two of us.
General counsel for the Boston Police Department?
No, it's just me and him.
Did you, during the conversation that we had last year, did you say that general legal counsel for the Boston Police Department was also there?
Objection.
Not during that
Sustained.
conversation. We,
Objection.
Next question.
Hey, pause it for a
Was there
second.
another time that you went to the commissioner's office?
So, regardless of what you say, we're going to support you.
Yeah, sure. Mhm. Right.
Regardless of what you say, we're going to support you. But this is what you have to say.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Any- something in the handbook about a 10-foot pole.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Of course, they're going to say they support you, Officer Dever.
Yeah.
But will
yeah.
they? Probably.
But
not.
she's not going to say what she wants to say.
Right. You are going to say what they tell you to say, or you will no longer be employed. I have a feeling. Yeah, G.
And that's
you
why
think?
she's struggling a lot of questions, man. That's why she's pondering, man.
I'm telling you, she's a rookie cop. I'm telling you, she's seeing her life flash before her eyes on that stand. I'm telling you, she's doing a lot of soul searching very quickly to decide which way she wants to go.
What does that do to her credibility, Ryan?
You know, it will ruin it if she sticks with it. It could ruin it.
If,
You know, 'cause
if
now
Jackson keeps going and finds out and discloses that she's a freaking liar,
right? Well, to me, he already did, because I'm sorry, you have this incredible memory that's pretty detailed, right?
Yeah.
It's very
Yeah.
detailed. And then all of a sudden she says, oh, you know, it was a false memory or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, man. That is 100% bullshit.
A false memory is like a false arrest, dude. You know?
No good.
No
It
good.
ain't no good. It ain't
Yep.
no good.
Yep.
All right.
Roll it, Steve-O.
The general legal counsel was there.
No,
You ever met general legal counsel for the Boston Police Department?
You wasn't there?
yes,
Was it in the commissioner's office?
Yeah.
no.
When was it?
During my conversation with the agents.
You took a lawyer with you to talk to this other law enforcement agency?
I'm gonna see you at type on this.
Side back. You knew that was coming.
Dude, her frown is getting bigger and bigger, man.
Mm-hmm.
May I continue, Your Honor?
Yes.
Thank you. Ms. Dever, when we left off, I was asking you about the meeting at the commissioner's office. And I want to clear this up.
Yeah. Let's
Do
talk
you
about
remember
this.
that? Or was that a
General
false
legal
memory too?
counsel in that office or not when you had a meeting with the commissioner, Michael Cox?
No, it was just me and the commissioner.
At some point, did the commissioner say to you that Boston Police Department, insofar as your connection to this case is concerned, Boston Police Department fully supports you?
Yes,
Did he also say, do the right thing?
that's a direct quote, so I can't recollect if he said a direct quote 2 years ago.
A year ago, when you talked to us, the defense, did you tell the defense that when you were called up to the commissioner's office, he told you two things? Commissioner Cox told you, number one, Boston Police Department supports you, and Officer Deaver, do the right thing.
So he said my name correctly, he said Dever, and
That's my mistake. Let's see, like, you want me to repeat the question so I get that
So,
right?
Mr. Jackson, let's go ahead and answer.
What
please.
a
Yes,
bitch.
he said nothing with the intent of guiding me one way or
I
the
didn't ask you
other.
what his intent was, madam. I asked you what he said to you. What were
Yeah.
his words to you?
Yep. What'd he say?
That he supports me,
And
just wanted me to tell the truth up here.
his words were, do the right thing.
What did he say exactly?
I don't recall.
Of course. You know what he said. He probably did say do the right thing, and now
How many other times have you testified
she's debating.
in a court of law? During the course of your job?
2.5 years? Shouldn't be that many.
2 dozen, 3 dozen.
And
Actually testified
That's all. That's too many.
probably
2 years? No.
ballpark a dozen times.
That's
in
better.
Maybe.
any of those
yeah.
other cases,
That's better.
Commissioner Michael Cox called you up to his office to discuss your testimony in any of those cases? Yes or no?
Thank you, Dominic.
Good question. Good question. Just say zero.
Duplicious.
Zero.
That's not a yes or a no answer.
Well, yes, it actually
Yes, it is.
Deborah.
So no comments, okay? Just,
You understand the question?
Clearly, she didn't.
The question, yes. The implication,
The question is, in
A question.
any of those, I'm asking you an open-ended question. In any of those cases,
Yeah.
Officer Deborah, not including this one, as Commissioner Michael Cox ordered you up to his office to discuss your testimony.
no.
Thank you.
There you go.
Why only this one?
Jordan fades back. Swish.
Why this one? B.
all right,
Oh,
Mr. Brennan?
I have no idea, G. I couldn't begin to fathom. I'm not smart enough.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
My name's Hank Brennan. We have never met before.
Bullshit.
Correct.
Have you ever spoken to me before?
No.
Snake.
False memory. False memory.
Snake.
The defense team,
Oh, I got pausing for a sec, Steve.
Attorney Jackson,
Hey, G, remember when the one guy, sergeant, called him the Snake? We won't say his name, or I can't remember his name anyway. But and we used to go,
Oh, yeah.
every time he would walk around us, all the guys on our squad, all 10 of us would go. And man, like, why do you guys do that? Because he's a snake.
He's
man.
a snake, dude.
Yeah. So,
They're always taking notes.
yeah. Always looking to get you, man. Like, what,
Yeah.
dude, did you become a cop to just hang other cops, or you want to get out there and actually do some work?
Yeah. He's one guy that doesn't do the right thing, dude.
You're right. Yep. All right, roll it, Steve.
asked you some questions this morning.
Hank the Snake.
It sounds like you've met them before.
Only by phone call.
How many times have you spoken to Attorney Jackson or anybody
Listen
on
to
the
this,
defense
G.
team before today?
Prior to the first trial, it was one phone call where we discussed the case. Outside of that, there may have been one other phone call before the first trial, but it wasn't a discussion of the case. And then prior to this trial, I received a phone call that said, confirm you will be available for one of these days.
3.
Other than confirming you'd be available, was there any discussion before this trial with anybody on the defense?
Not about this case, no.
So the conversation, the subsequent conversation was before the past event last year?
Yes, a year and a few months ago.
You worked at the Canton Police Department?
Yes, I did.
You were a police officer?
Yes, I was.
And it sounds like on January 29, 2022, at some point you were asked to attend the desk?
Yes.
The desk is at the front of the police department where...
Did you hear what she said?
What happened?
Did you guys catch that? She said, I was a police officer. Is she not a cop anymore?
Oh.
She said,
Interesting.
I was a police officer at the time.
Chat, find out right now.
Find out.
One mission. Should
I
you
heard
choose
that.
to accept it, find out if she's
I
still a
w-
cop.
Yeah, I was. Okay, so she might not be a cop
you
anymore.
see people coming in and out of the police station?
Yes, there's glass windows.
Flip it, Steve. What'd you do?
I didn't do nothing.
No, I'm talking to Steve. There you go.
That night, did you have any difficulty with your
Thank you,
memory
Josh.
of the specific things that you saw that night?
I was never on the scene. I never spoke to a witness. I never met a victim. I never spoke with a suspect. This was just a random shift for me 3.5 years ago at a desk
Yeah.
that I wasn't asked to recollect for about 1.5 years after the occurrences of that night.
She didn't want no part of this.
Did law enforcement, not the state police or Canton police, did law enforcement ask you about your memory sometime after that night?
The agents asked me about 1.5 years later. It was the August of 2023 meeting.
When they
So
spoke-
actually 1 year and 8 months later was the first time I ever spoke about this case.
When they spoke to you 1 year and 8 months later, did you suggest or share or tell them that you might have seen Chief Berkowitz and Mr. Higgins near the Sally Port area?
I told them on the day of that I saw that. I didn't make any indications it was anything bad. I just said I saw
Right.
them.
Right. Not a big
And,
deal. It's okay.
It was in good faith
Yeah.
that I believed I saw
There's
that.
nothing wrong with that.
That was the extent of that
Good
comment.
Did you
faith.
hear what she said?
You had told
Is
them
in good
you
faith.
saw-
She said, I believed that I saw them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So she saw them, and now she's recanting.
So Jackson should go back and say, "You just said you believed you saw them, not a false memory."
Right.
So
You
what is it?
believed because you did see him.
You did see them.
If you believe it and you're seeing it, it's there.
Listen, B. This is okay. So we're in briefing, right? We get these hot bolos to look for, right? Look for this guy. Look for this guy, right?
Yep. Yep.
You got a picture in your memory and you're driving around. And, hey, that looks like that guy.
Yep. Yep.
That's just from a split second. We train to recall certain things. Not that we train, it just happens.
You get good at it. Yeah.
Right. It just happens. Hey, that looks like that guy from that bolo we just saw in briefing.
Gee, I used to remember people's birthdays months later. I could still recall their birthday of suspects that I arrested. I can still remember their birthday. So yeah, your memory gets really, really good.
I can't even remember my kids' birthdays. That's bad.
Well,
dude.
that was years ago. Yeah, I'm old now. All right,
False memories.
Yeah, it was a false memory. My whole career was a false memory.
On January 29th during my day shift, yes.
Did you then learn any information that helped you remember when your shift ended that day?
So I know my shift ended at 3:45 p.m.
Yes.
So I know that I left then. That wasn't ever one of my questions. The defense released a timeline right prior to the first trial that the vehicle on that day did not arrive in the Sally Port until about an hour and a half after I left, meaning it is not possible that I saw that.
When you saw this information, did you think about your memory?
So when I saw the information, it made it clear to me that there was a distortion of the timeline, and the false memory I created, I provided in good faith, but I retracted immediately, being provided evidence that it was not possible.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
That didn't happen,
I
girl.
told the defense team prior to the first trial. I also contacted the agents. The agents assured me that good faith.
Not what they said, but what you thought.
Yeah,
Not
what'd you
what they
think?
said to you. But
Did they threaten to put you in jail when you told them about your mistake?
No, I even spoke with the legal team, and they said that I made a comment in good faith. There was absolutely no way that I could be charged with anything of being malicious.
Before we get to your conversation with the defense team, now I wasn't there in that conversation, was I?
No,
Have you ever shared that conversation with me?
I've never shared it with anyone.
Before we get to that, you seem a bit anxious.
I doubt that.
Are you anxious?
Confused as to why I'm here, but anxious now.
Are you, have you received any negative pushback because of you sharing your memory? Objection.
I'm going to allow that.
Of course you will.
No,
Have you received any unwarranted attention from the public or media?
not to my knowledge, but I didn't go digging to find it.
When you mentioned the media sent you something, what did they send you?
So I've seen things in the media. No media has ever been directed for me to find it. It's just this case is unavoidable as a local person on the internet who sees things that get shared.
So inevitably, you were contacted by the defense.
Okay.
Yes, prior to the first trial.
You mentioned that somebody had suggested you be charged with perjury.
Yes,
Who did that?
one of the male members of the defense team.
Why did they say that to you? Objection.
Sustained.
What were you discussing when you were threatened with perjury?
They were essentially telling me what they were looking for me to say on the stand.
What were they looking for you to say?
They were looking for me to say that I saw Higgins and Berkowitz in the garage with the car.
Did you share with them that that wasn't an accurate memory?
Yes,
How did they respond?
they became very aggressive, raised their voices, and the one word that I can very definitely remember is they said that they would charge me with perjury.
What did they want you to say?
They wanted me to say that statement, although I knew at that point it was not an accurate statement given the timeline.
How many times were you threatened with perjury?
At least once during the phone call, but once you say it once, it was enough.
What else happened during that phone call? Tell us the tenor of it. Tell us the content of it.
That was essentially the thing I remember most because I
course
understood
it
that was
is.
what they wanted me to provide for the trial. I was never called for the first trial. Therefore, I'm not exactly sure what else there is for me to say when the one thing that they wanted on the stand, it is factually not correct and cannot be provided.
When they threatened you to charge you with burglary, tell us what your state of mind was.
Was provided though.
Disappointment that legal counsel would go that route with someone who is, from a factual timeline, saying something is incorrect. There was no retracting based on emotion. It was very clear, given the timeline,
lying.
it could not be correct.
You mean lying? Yes, that's what you meant. You're lying. Thank
Now,
you.
you work for the Boston Police Department?
Yes.
Now we understand.
By the way, when you were with Canton, did you ever talk to anybody about looting or planting evidence or doing anything like that?
No, and this conspiracy theory came out a year and a half later. I was gone.
Did anybody?
Yeah, I bet she was gone.
Conspiracy theory? Pause that, Steve.
Say something to help her side of the case?
No, because I was never
Pause
spoken
it.
to.
Steve, where you at? Oh. So, Gonzo, is it a conspiracy theory that they picked up the blood in Solo cups?
No.
Is it a conspiracy theory that they violated pretty much every evidence policy? in
Every
preparation
protocol.
and
Every protocol.
So
Absolutely.
there's no conspiracy, right?
No.
Okay.
No.
Just making
No.
sure. I mean, she's saying all these conspiracies came up, but
Evidence doesn't lie.
evidence
Exactly.
leads us right to where we need to be. And I'm sorry, folks, but the evidence to us does not lead to Karen. It leads right to cops.
I'm just baffled on this false memory. Why would she say it to begin with? Right?
I'll tell you why. Because she saw it. And
Exactly.
It was an innocent statement. As a new rookie cop, she's like, I saw them. And then they were like, oh, shit. You didn't see nothing, girl. This is,
Well,
I'm not saying I don't know if what they told her. I don't, you know what I mean? But something happened to where she made an innocent statement as a rookie cop of what she saw to now
well,
it's a false memory and it didn't happen. And she even said it couldn't factually even have happened. That's too much. It's too much in each direction.
the only reason why she's saying that is because of what video they have, right? That they
Right.
have.
Right.
Not video that's been deleted or removed or lost
Or inverted.
or inverted. But the reason why she's saying it's now, this is my own opinion, okay? Because I didn't follow her. I don't know who she is. But if they're going by the timeline of the video,
Mhm.
you can't go by that.
Yeah.
Because the video's missing and gone. So
Yeah.
when she's saying the timeline, if they're going by that video, of course it's not going to be the same, right? But
Yeah.
the actual full video, if we were to have it,
we
uncut,
have
unedited, uninverted,
Yeah.
inverted, did.
Uninverted. Uninverted. Yeah. Yeah. I'm with you.
It would fit like a glove, son.
I feel what you're putting out there. All right, Steve-O. Roll it. Steve?
Yeah.
You asleep? Steve.
Yeah.
Andrew,
I
Steve.
tore
Yeah,
the head of my
yeah.
sheep
There's a
off.
bunch of questions popping up on the screen when you guys are yapping. I'm trying to get you to read them.
Oh, I
Oh.
can't see him.
All right. Hit me. Hit us. What do we
Hey,
got?
guys. How often do rookie cops at a large force get day shifts? She is on BPD day shifts already and 2 years PD.
It
tell 'em,
happens
Gonzo.
middle of the week off. Middle of the week off, you'll get day shift,
Maybe.
but not very often.
Yeah, when Gonzo and I hired on back in the day, back in the 99 for me, everybody goes to graveyard.
Yep.
And it's a running joke. They let you know about it. You are going to graveyard as soon as you get out of FTAP field training. You are going to the yard. You're going to get a moon tan, and you ain't going to be a day walker.
Yep.
You're
Yep.
like a vampire.
Then you'll cut your teeth. You'll move to swing shift, and then from swing shift, if you're fortunate enough to get the day shift, it'll be middle of the week off.
Yeah, it's going to be a long time before you get weekends off. At least a big place like ours. You know, the rookies. Rookies are at the bottom.
Unless you have a new area command that pops open, right? And nobody wants to go to the new area command.
Correct.
It's always the boots,
Yep.
and it's the senior boots
Yep.
that get the day shift weekends off.
Yeah, senior guys. Yeah, like when G and I were at Enterprise, I didn't want to leave Enterprise. I was never going to leave. I was at that substation for 17 years. When I left, I was a senior guy. I'm not going to leave there to another substation, right? So everybody else bounces, and then the senior guys stay where they want. And sometimes the young guys luck out, like G said, and they get weekends off. But usually, I did almost 9 years. My first 9 years on Graveyard 8, about 8.5.
Let me,
Gonzo did 20 years.
Yeah. Let's go.
Your future is a cop in court. To me, here in Vegas, I mean, once you lie on the stand, right, Gonzo? Once you lie on the stand, you are basically blacklisted, right?
Yep.
In court,
You might
will not
lose
be
your
allowed to
job.
testify.
You
Yeah,
might
won't
lose
be
your
allowed to
job.
testify. Yeah, you won't be allowed to testify in court if you get caught lying. Yeah.
Yep.
So it's a big deal. So could it affect her? Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right, G, what's this one? From her, the jury knows there was a first trial and the FBI was investigating something about this case, yet they can't say ARCA was hired by the DOJ.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Everybody's hoping on the FBI, but
A lot of word salad going out there.
I hope. Don't get your hopes up, but I hope so.
To until far after I left.
Did you ever see anybody in this case or any time you were with Canton doing something improper and tampering with evidence?
Not in this case or any case.
If you had, would you have reported it?
Yes.
Sustain.
Move to strike.
I'll strike that, ladies. and
Yeah,
gentlemen.
strike that.
So you transferred to the Boston Police Department. Has anybody from the Boston Police Department ever suggested that you should lean your testimony one way or another?
No.
Has anybody from the Boston Police Department ever given you any rewards or favors for defying the defense position?
No.
Now.
Has anybody ever suggested that you should say anything whatsoever that would be unhelpful to the defense?
No.
Now.
Has the Norfolk County District Attorney's Office ever encouraged you to testify in any way other than the truth?
No.
Now. You know what she reminds me of? I paused it, Steve. She reminds me of the lady in Ghostbusters. I should have put that in there. Ghostbusters, what do you want? Now.
Say no that way when I ask a question.
Now.
Hey honey, can I go golfing?
Now. Yeah, I should have put the Ghostbusters in there, but I probably would have got straight. Ghostbusters, what do you want?
Did he in any way ever tell you to shape your testimony?
Not at all.
When you met with the Boston Police Department Commissioner, did he ever ask you the substance of what your testimony would or wouldn't be under oath?
He made it very clear he did not want to discuss the case at all.
When you spoke to the people at the Boston Police Department, have they ever weighed in any way on what they think you should or shouldn't say?
No.
As you're testifying here today, are you under any tension, undue influence, stress, threat?
There
Took some
is
shots before I came in.
discomfort with the way that there's attempting to guide what my testimony is, but I don't feel any need to fall into it because I'm here to speak the truth on the stand. That's
Are
my
you?
livelihood.
Oh, okay.
When you were threatened with perjury, how long was that conversation with the defense?
I believe it was just about an hour on the phone. My phone log on my physical phone would not go back far enough for me to be able to retrieve the date or the time that that phone call took place.
That conversation lasted an hour?
Approximately.
About perjury?
How did it end?
Not on
Okay.
a good note in the slightest. I remember it was a pretty hasty hang up on both ends.
For a long ass call. An hour? That's a long call.
See that question, B?
No. Would you want to be partnered with someone with fault? Fuck no. Fuck no. Fuck no. Bounce in, girl. You ain't right with me.
A male voice on that phone call threatened to charge you with perjury.
Yes.
You're a police officer, correct?
Yes.
Who charges people with crimes?
You do.
If a crime is committed, there can be a report of it.
Who
So
charges people with crimes?
Yeah. You do.
in the end,
You do.
it's going to go through the court system. So the district attorney, the ADAs, that's who pursues it in a court
Right.
setting.
Have you ever seen a defense attorney charge anybody with a crime?
So you can seek out reporting someone for it.
Have you ever seen a defense attorney charge someone with a crime, ma'am?
No.
Personally, no.
Duh. Fuck.
Fact of the matter is, nobody ever
Thank you.
threatened you with perjury, did they?
Oh, they did. Yeah.
Oh, I gotta pause this. What the fuck? Okay.
She's lying again.
I know. Thank you, Darkborn. $20. What this is? Change the statement after meeting with Boston Police. Yeah, you know shit. I never met
Yep.
a meeting with any of the heads of my department. In my opinion, she was told to change her statement. Yeah.
Absolutely.
100%. Yeah. So
Yep.
why don't I pause it? Oh, what? She's a cop, Gonzo.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
somebody said, I'm going to threaten you with perjury, I'd be like,
Okay. Yeah. Do what you have to do.
look, I'm going to say what I saw. You do what you do, and I'm going to defend myself.
Yeah.
The chips will fall where they may. Right,
Yeah.
sir? We'll
Yeah.
let the courts decide.
Well, the thing is, if you're up there telling the truth, nobody's going to charge you with perjury. They only tell you that because they know that you're lying.
Yeah, but even then, well, let's keep going. Pause or play, Steve.
That's it.
I contacted the FBI regarding it.
Watch
Oh,
this.
did you?
I did.
You have a report?
I have an email conversation where I sent the 2 questions I had. She responded, I will pass these along. I was contacted by their legal team. They reassured me perjury was not applicable because I made a statement in good faith. Upon further information, I retracted it, corrected it, and made it clear that I could no longer say it because I knew that it was not a clear reflection of the events that took place.
Not good for the case.
Yes,
My question is, do you have a report from the FBI saying that you reported that someone on the Karen Reed defense team threatened to charge you, your words, with perjury? You have a
No.
report to that effect?
no.
No.
Then it didn't happen.
That's right.
Didn't
They
happen.
don't have
girl.
reports. They don't have reports there, remember?
Your job
Didn't happen then.
as a police officer
Listen to this.
is to
Watch this.
be objective, isn't it?
Yes,
Watch this.
You're not supposed to take an adversarial position against one side or the other, correct?
I don't.
Just
Whoa.
right down the middle, just the facts as you know them, correct?
Yes,
You feel like you're being unbiased in your testimony here today?
I paused it. She don't give a shit.
She
Do
don't
you
even want
see
to
her
be there.
answers?
Yeah. She don't even want to be there.
She don't give a shit.
Dude, I would not like to have her as a cop. Dude,
She wouldn't be
if,
my
if I got pulled over by her, man, my goose is cooked.
Yeah, anyway.
I
go
just say,
ahead,
no habla, señora, no habla.
Yeah, the way she answered those, man,
Yeah.
she didn't become a cop to help people ride-alongs. She doesn't want to make a difference in people's lives. She doesn't want to be the light in their darkest hour. No, you heard her straight from her mouth. She's like, I don't. She don't give a shit. Just pay me. I'll show up, pay me, and I don't care. Roll it, Steve.
She's a 2-week employee every
Yep.
2 weeks.
I'm telling the truth.
You think you're being fair to both sides?
Yeah,
All I
say
have
it.
to do is tell the truth. If it's not perceived to be fair, that's someone else's opinion.
Let's talk about that truth for a second.
Yeah, let's
That's
talk
fine.
about it.
What you told those law enforcement agents on August 9th, 2023 was, quote, you recalled seeing Higgins at the station later that day on Saturday. Dever thought it was also weird that Higgins and Chief Kenny Berkowitz were by themselves in the Sallyport of the police department.
Yes.
By themselves while Karen Reed's car was parked inside. Higgins was a witness and present at the gathering where O'Keefe was found dead outside, and then he was in the presence of important evidence. You were sitting at dispatch by yourself and saw on the camera outside of the Sallyport when they walked in.
Objection to the entire reading.
Oh, watch.
So beyond the scope, so you have to keep it.
There's more to the statement, Your Honor.
That's her statement.
Do you remember making that statement to the
Yeah,
officers?
it's hers.
You
My
can't reject
recollection
that.
of the time was that, so yes.
Okay, great. Did you go on to say, speaking of being truthful, did you go on to say,
I'm objecting.
Of
course you are, snake.
So you have to ask differently, but I need to see you for a minute with this and bring that with you, please.
I bet you do, Bev. I bet you do.
She looks a little more pale than
may I
normal
inquire?
now.
Yes.
Thank you. Officer Dever, did you go on to say in that interview, quote, you never saw them leave, them being Bryon Higgins and Chief Ken Berkowitz, you never saw them leave but you recalled thinking to yourself that they were in the Sally Port for a wildly long time together in there, end quote.
End quote.
That was my recollection of the time.
Okay.
So yes,
Have you ever heard of by the way, you indicated under questioning by Mr. Brennan that you knew what they wanted from me, meaning the defense, what they wanted from me.
yes,
You understand that?
yes,
Do you remember on that phone call that we read directly from the exact same report that I just read from? You remember that?
and I told you the same thing then.
That's not
Yes.
a question.
Objection.
Sustained.
My question is, just answer my question.
Yeah.
Officer Deborah. Did we read to you, were you read the exact same thing that I just read to you on that phone call?
Like you can't remember my name, I don't remember.
I can remember your name.
Whoa!
Okay, so
Whoa!
the answer is I don't remember. No comments.
More than that, Judge. I think
Damn!
All right, so no comments, just questions, please.
You heard that?
Put your screws into it, Jackson.
You heard that?
Do you
Right
recall
along?
us telling you that we were looking for the truth about your
Objection.
comments?
I'm going
Shut up,
all out.
Hank. Of course.
That we were looking for the truth.
Which I gave you, yes.
Did you also say on that phone call something to the effect of, I know you're going to tear me a new one because I'm changing my testimony?
Changing, no, but you're trying to do that.
Did you say, I know you're going to tear me a new one?
It's what you're trying to do, so yes.
Actually, what you said was, you're going to tear me a new asshole, didn't you?
I don't recall that, so that's putting words in my mouth.
I'm
Bullshit.
not asking you to put words in your mouth. I'm asking you if you remember saying that
Yeah.
during that phone call. Oh,
I don't
I know
recall.
you're going to tear me a new asshole.
I don't recall.
I believe absolutely
But
she
you
said
do
that.
remember saying something to the effect of, I know you're going to tear me a new one,
Yeah.
right?
Yes,
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of something called the blue wall of silence?
Objection.
Sustained.
Of course.
Do you think it's important for police officers to protect one another in the field and out?
Objection.
Sustained.
Of course.
Have you spoken with anyone?
What's up, Will?
Mr. Brennan, he's covered that. Have you spoken with anyone from the district attorney's office about your involvement in this case? Ever?
no.
No.
Unless you're gonna provide a person, I've never talked to any of these people.
Have you talked to anyone at the DA's office at all, in any regard?
Not to my recollection,
How about indirectly?
not to my knowledge.
Are you friends with any people that you're aware of that are connected to this case? Are you personal friends, girlfriends, boyfriends, personal friends with anyone that's connected with this case?
Other people who's been on the witness stand, one person, yes.
Who's that?
Sarah Levinson.
How long have you known Sarah?
We became friends in middle school.
Long time.
Did you watch any of the trial, this trial?
Long time.
Clips in passing, but no, it's 6 hours a day.
Bullshit.
Yes.
So I work during the day shift now.
So you've seen some of the footage of the
Highlights.
goings on in this case, correct?
Yes, nothing with her. I did not watch her testimony.
Oh, of course not.
Were you aware there was a sequestration order?
I don't know what that means, so no.
You're a sworn peace officer, you don't know what sequestration means
No,
in terms of witnesses? Not
No.
watching the proceedings in order to affect their testimony?
Very bad.
no, I wasn't aware.
She's very bad.
But you did tune in to the case, correct?
I know.
In small clips, yes.
And you did, in fact, on August 9th, 2023, have a fulsome conversation with two sworn police officers about your memory of what you saw, your observations on January 29th, 2022, correct?
I don't know if they're police officers necessarily, but yes.
Law enforcement agents, how about that?
Oh my
Yes.
gosh. You don't even
And
know
that
if you're talking to
conversation
cops.
is reflected
And you're a cop.
in this piece of paper that I just read to you, correct?
Yes.
Thanks. That's all I have.
Okay.
This is exciting.
Were you subpoenaed by the Commonwealth in this case?
No.
You were subpoenaed by the defense.
Yes.
Did they tell you that there was a sequestration order or that you shouldn't watch any of the footage? Did they fairly inform you about what the ground rules were?
No, and I wasn't part of the first trial, so I had no idea about anything to do with this trial.
When you spoke to those law enforcement officers back in 2023, do you know that they made a report where you had informed them that you knew Sarah Levinson, and that report had been provided to the defense a long time ago? Did you know that?
Yes, I informed them very clearly.
So the question about if you know Sarah Levinson, that's no secret in your world, is it?
In that form, I'll sustain it.
That isn't a secret, is it?
Not at all.
That's something you were open and candid about?
Yes.
You understand that regardless of what you say, it doesn't matter as long as it's the truth. Do you understand that?
Yes.
The Commonwealth in no way is asking you to accommodate it or please it in any way. Do you understand that?
Yes.
If there was something that may be perceived by others as adverse to the Commonwealth, you understand we would want you to tell that if it was the truth, don't you?
Sustained.
You understand, well, the Commonwealth has never intimated, suggested, or advised you to say anything other than the truth, have they?
No.
Have you been given any consideration or reward because you remedied your memory?
No.
Yeah, she got a fucking cake.
After being shown the
Hired at
evidence
Boston
that you
PD.
left that day, January 29, 2022 at 3:45, and learning that the defendant's car did not get to the Sallyport at 5:30 or so p.m., is there any way you could have seen Mr. Berkowitz and Mr. Higgins in the Sallyport with the defendant's car that night before you left for work?
There is no way.
Understanding you made a mistake, was the defense receptive to your explanation that you made a mistake?
Sustained in that form.
Did the defense pressure you when you told them you were going to come into this court and tell the truth about your mistake?
No, allow it.
Of course you are. Look at Snake trying to get an Oscar for his acting.
Can you rephrase it?
Yes. When you told the defense you had made a mistake about your memory, did they pressure you?
Could you rephrase it?
Yes.
Did they pressure you to say something other than the truth?
Yes, they wanted me to repeat a lie at that point, given it would have been with malicious intent to repeat it.
Oh, you mean your memory?
Understanding a lawyer has no power to charge with contempt, does that change the reality of whether or not you were threatened? Let me ask it a different way.
Yeah.
You were asked questions about whether or not you knew who could take out charges for a crime. Yes?
Yes.
Okay. Regardless of whether an attorney has that power, were you threatened that there would be a charge of perjury if you didn't comply with the defense wishes in this case?
Yes.
And knowing you were going to come into court, given this experience you had with the defense, is that why you felt like they were going to tear you?
New ass.
Is that the phrase we used?
Yeah, you heard it.
Yes, because they did not want me to tell the truth. So I told them that knowing they were kind of trying to eat me alive and to repeat.
I gotta pause it. You know who she reminds me of just then? Jen McCabe.
Oh,
Jen
yeah.
McCabe. Exactly just like her. Well, then I remembered. It started coming back to me.
Yeah.
And I was in shock and horror. And then I
Yeah.
remembered what had happened.
Yeah.
She's reminding me of Jen.
I
We're
agree.
almost done, people. We're almost done. It's only a couple minutes left, I think. All right, Steve.
Repeating something that is not the truth.
Rather than to come in here and be attacked, wouldn't it have been easier just to
Ain't nobody attacking her.
said what you had earlier thought was true?
Yeah.
I'm going to allow that.
Of course you
Wouldn't
are.
it be easier just to come in and accommodate them rather than be threatened?
Well, of course.
So why did you come in here?
My entire job revolves around what I say on the stand right now.
Damn right.
If I was to lie, I lose my job. I
Well, you
lose
did.
everything. I'm here to tell the truth. I cannot lie while sitting on this stand.
You have been.
Thank you.
You just lied.
Okay, well,
Your entire job revolves around what you say on the witness stand.
Yeah.
Is that what you just testified?
Yep.
to?
Yes.
And if you agree that what you said to those two law enforcement agents on August 9th, 2023, you would be implicating not one, but two police officers, law enforcement officers, correct?
Yep.
If
So-
you agreed with what you said in August of 2023 on this witness stand, you would be implicating two officers, fellow officers, correct?
Say it.
So I'm confused as to
course
what
you
you're
are.
asking.
We know you
would
are.
be implicating, if you agree with me, you have not agreed that that was the truth. You've now indicated that what you told to law enforcement agents in August of 2023 was a lie.
No,
If you agreed with that statement here on the witness stand, you would be implicating two officers as having been in the Sally Port, weirdly, for a wildly long time with the SUV, implicating not one, but two fellow officers, correct? That's what you would be doing.
it's
Yes.
not possible I
If
saw
you
that.
agreed with me,
No,
would
no,
you be
no.
implicating the reputation of two officers.
Yes.
If I was to lie, then yes.
And your entire job revolves around what you say on that witness stand. That's what you said, correct?
I'm
Yes.
still
That's what you just said, Officer Dever, correct?
She's accusing Jackson of saying, I will get you for perjury. If he knows he did not say that, he knows 100% for a fact she is lying now. And that's why he's getting upset with her, because he knows she is lying.
He just flipped the script on her.
Yeah. Yeah. She's lying. All right.
I still don't really understand the question.
You just
You
said,
do.
all I'm asking you is what you just said. I wrote it down. You just said, my entire job revolves around what I say on the witness stand, correct?
Yes to that
Thank
question.
you.
Yep.
That's all I got.
He got you, girl. Got you to say it to the jury.
When you spoke to those agents, you didn't implicate Chief Berkowitz and Mr. Higgins with doing anything criminal, did you?
No, they were friends. That's why Higgins had an office there.
You didn't implicate them ever suggesting they had tampered with evidence, did you?
No,
You never implicated them saying that they had framed anybody, did you?
no.
So when you talked to those agents, did you ever suggest that Mr. Higgins and Mr. Berkowitz did anything to touch or tamper with the defendant's Lexus at all?
No,
Never.
no.
Now. Now.
Is there anybody you're protecting?
I have no one to protect.
Do you need
My
to
job.
protect anybody?
No.
all right, Officer Dever, you are awesome.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, jurors, we'll take our morning recess, 20 minutes.
All right.
All rise, please.
So I'm thinking back to when he said, do you want to be here? Right. And she said, gave all these excuses. I don't, I shouldn't be here. I don't know anything, blah,
I
blah,
don't
blah.
know
But-
why I'm here.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm here. And again, ride-alongs, that's not the correct answer. The correct answer should have been something along the lines of, look, I'm here. I'm an officer of the law. I don't represent either side, okay? But I'm here to tell the truth, with my due diligence, right? And help either side, okay? I'm not, you know what I mean? I'm just going to tell you what I know.
Yep.
Because it's my job, and
Yep.
it's irrelevant whether I'm comfortable or not, because I'm here and I'm supposed to be here. So I'm going to tell the truth.
Yep.
I mean, that's all she had to say, but she went in a different route. So,
Yeah, she tried to backdoor everything.
yeah.
When you say I'm here to tell the truth, that was the truth. when you have to repeat it over and over and over again, it's not the truth, bro.
Well, yeah, and when you're gonna say, oh, I have this memory, and you write down a detailed statement, and then you say it was a false memory. Yeah, to me, man, you're just saying. I would be like, what? What? Are you fucking crazy? Like, are you punking me or something? Because you got this great statement, and now you're saying it didn't happen. What's the problem? Stop. What's going on?
Chat, real quick, chat. I want to know if yes or no, did Jackson win this one? Did he prove his point? Yes or no? We'll find out. Be what the chat. I think he did.
As always, let's see. As always, thank you for being our cop daddies. You're welcome. Standing against police corruption, even outside LV. Yep. Free Karen Reed. Justice for Officer John O'Keefe. Absolutely. Mass resident and OG. Ride along for life. Yeah. Pound it.
Let's go. Yeah. Looks like all the yays say yay.
Thank you for the super chat. How does a 2-hour timeline difference suddenly nullify all those details? She was off at 3:45, and when did she leave? Work the next day. Come on, girl. I know.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah. It bothered me the way she said. He said, "Did you leave? Did you stay late?" And she goes, "Well, yeah, I was on overtime." He goes, "Oh, you stayed late because of the call?" And she goes, "No, because I was on overtime."
She probably had nothing to do with the call, but she was taking other calls coming into dispatch.
I know, but hear me out. Here's the time when you're dispatch. If I'm at work and I get a call, there's a dead officer. I'm staying until they need me. Like right October 1st, we stayed. There is no when can we go or whatever. Yeah. You stay until they say, hey, you know what? We don't need you anymore because it's all hands on deck.
Yeah.
Right. Nobody cares about overtime. Then your main concern should have been Officer O'Keefe.
Yep. And it wasn't for her.
No. So not for her. No, I don't think she cares. All right. Well, what did we learn from Officer Dever?
That she has a foggy memory.
Yeah, real bad memory. And she makes shit up. What's a false memory?
Yeah.
I got to use that. It is a false memory.
Yeah. Damn. Yeah. That's crazy, dude.
Yep. All right. We got any good questions out there? Steve,
Steve gonna pop in?
Like? What are we looking at here? Thank you, LV Cops. You are welcome, sir or ma'am. Sorry, I didn't see your name.
Well, I'm in the middle now. What's up with that?
Whoa. You're in the
Stuck in the middle with you.
Cop sandwich.
Oh, I am exhausted. Long day.
Yeah, been a long day.
Long day. You guys got all the supers. Most of them were just kind of statements. So that's
okay. Cool. All right. Well,
appreciate everybody for all of your generosity and hanging out with us. I know it's pretty late for a lot of us.
Yeah. Yeah, especially back east. All right, let's let these people go to sleep.
All right, buddy. Let's roll it. Thanks, Steve.
All right. This was a very, very impromptu live. Gonzo and I were chatting today. I said, hey, this chick is driving me nuts.
Let's do it.
And he's like, you want to do it? And I said, yeah, let's do it. So we appreciate you guys staying up late. We know it's hard, but we appreciate it. Thank you for all your support. Free Karen Reed. That's why we're all here, right? We got to make sure she gets free. People like that we're reviewing and all the YouTubers review. Yeah. Man, I don't know. This is driving me nuts.
Tell them about our merch.
Yes, all of our merch is up for sale. All the profits go to Karen Reed. 100% of the profits go to Karen Reed. So it's the least we can do. So thank you for all the super chats. Thank you for all the love and support. We are humbled and honored that you even like us.
Yeah, for sure.
Thanks for watching.
And for those who are still serving, have a safe tour of duty, please.
Make a difference in someone's life. Stay classy, Las Vegas.
Always.
Peace.
1 Sam 5 and 1 Sam 6, copy of 425 call.
Copy. 1 Sam 5 en route.
1 Sam 6, copy, en route.